Jill Martin is an entrepreneur, Emmy Award-winning television personality, and talent on NBC's Today Show. She has maintained a successful lifestyle brand on QVC for over a decade, focusing on offering consumers accessible elegance. Following her breast cancer diagnosis, Martin has drawn from her personal journey to launch a new line of apparel that combines style with comfort, all while promoting the importance of health testing and advocating for women's health issues. In addition to her business and television work, Jill serves on the advisory board of the Garden of Dreams Foundation, a charity connected with the Madison Square Garden family. This foundation aims to positively impact the lives of children facing obstacles. She has earned 12 Emmys for her reporting, particularly with the New York Knicks. She holds a degree in communications from the University of Michigan. Yay! Her multifaceted career reflects her commitment to both business and philanthropy, blending her personal and professional experiences to help others. She is also one of my dearest friends, and I am so excited to have her on our first show. I feel so privileged. So welcome, Jill. Wow.
Thank you. What a beautiful introduction. And I wish that I could introduce you. I know the viewers know you, but you are one of my soulmates and one of the most important people in my life. And I am so grateful to be your first guest on your podcast. And yeah, I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
interesting because you and I met as adults.
Yes, we did.
And so it's interesting having a best friend that you meet as an adult.
That's right.
And then, learning and growing together and trying to do good together. So grateful for your friendship. And thank you for having me as your first guest.
Well, thank you. I think it's so interesting that the way we met was helping a University of Michigan student too, which is pretty cool because we have a lot in common. And it was just like so natural and very fortuitous, I thought. So
absolutely. I mean, I don't ever since, and I thought this before, but ever since my breast cancer journey, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that things are fated if you do the right thing and if you're kind and you're, really trying hard. And so, yeah, I try hard every single day. And people like you, my one of 8, the 8 people that are closest to you, you're the average of them. And so, you're my one of 8,
well,
so I'm doing okay.
I feel exactly the same way. So reading this, we're friends, of course, but I've never really read your bio. And it's just beautiful. And I'd really be interested to hear, what's your favorite accomplishment? There's so many. And it sounds so easy, doesn't it, when you read through all of that? And I'm sure there were bumps along the way. But what are you most proud of?
I think, Denise, I'm most proud of how I handled breast cancer and divorce in the same year. I think that my mom said, no one would have blamed you if you pulled the covers up over your head and just laid in bed.
Right.
And instead, I was like, moveon.com, fight and thrive.
I love that.
And help others and be graceful and be a lady. And, give 100%. And I think, giving myself grace and understanding that my 100% is the best I can do, even if it's not some days 100%, it's my 100%.
Right.
I think giving myself grace and how I handled tremendous adversity is what I am most proud of. And, that really encompasses, 25 years of work in 2 years. It sort of, the puzzle pieces led me to have the skill set and the wherewithal to be able to handle cancer, in the way that I did and am.
That's so interesting. So what you're saying is that all of the qualities and skills that you learned throughout your career really came to life and were really important dealing with your divorce and dealing with breast cancer. Is that right?
I don't even talk about the divorce because I say it because it's almost like a data point, but I don't even give it airtime because
I call it ice time.
Not even, you know what I mean? It's not even, I'm proud of how I am handling that.
Yes.
And I think that you're given skill sets and then you have to apply them
Right.
and you have to apply them correctly. And so I think it takes grit and grace and just life experience. Like,
Yes.
you know, when I speak and you do too to people at Michigan and people in college and young girls, and they say, you know, this is the way, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, I always say, like you do, you know, you have to just experience it.
Right.
And then you know, you learn.
That's right. Well, I've seen you in so many different situations, and you always exude, you're very charismatic, and you always exude confidence. And, you know, I know you've gone through very difficult things. So would you share with our listeners kind of what's your secret on staying confident through really tough times? I mean, you talked about grit, but, you know, day-to-day living and being able to wake up every day with such a positive attitude. I do think part of that is part of the healing as well. You know, a positive attitude, I would think, really helps healing.
Totally. And I think growing up, you know, like I was the pretty girl. And when I got cancer and went through chemo, I lost my beauty. I lost my hair. I lost my eyelashes. I was so grateful that I had done so much work on myself because I'm more confident than I've ever been.
Yeah.
And had I not worked on myself and not dedicated myself to being a good person and really priding myself on that, beauty is fleeting. So I think confidence is key. I think confidence is the most important quality. Confidence, and I think kindness comes with that.
Yes. What role did kindness play, do you think, in your healing and in your life in general? Because you also are a very kind person. And you know, that's something I was taught to value that over and over and over as a young person from my dad. But you have it as well. Confidence and kindness, my two favorite adjectives. So,
Me too.
right?
You know, when I met you, it's interesting because learning about you as I get to know you better and I get to stay with you, which is such a treat when I come into town. A lot of it stems from my parents and the way
Yes.
I was raised. And I feel like you talk about your dad all the time. And it seems like he was I didn't get to meet him and he was such a larger than life man. But you said that kindness was always instilled in you.
Yes, very much so. He talked about it all the time growing up. Kindness was a value to him that he just felt was so important. Whether I remember going to him when he finally let me start dating at 16, and I said, "So what do you think?" And he's like, "You need to be with a person who has a kind heart. You know, you need to be with a man who has a kind heart. That should be the number one priority and criteria when you start to date." But he said all that you know, even before 16, but it really landed with me. And I still live by that today. And I like to try to spend time with people that are really kind. And I think that
What I find so interesting about that is that, you know, and I say to my team that people equate being super successful, which your dad was a larger than life person
yes,
and so successful. And people equate, you know, I say to my team, you could be kind and have a good time and be successful. Those things aren't exclusive of each other. And I feel like people so often think that kindness is a weakness. And I think kindness is a superpower. If you could do everything, all the hard stuff, and do it with kindness and have fun while doing it,
yes,
that's true success.
yes, that's very well put. I totally agree with that. And I see it all the time in business where people think kindness is a weakness. But I just forge ahead because I think it is a superpower. It is a strength. And I think that we could use a little bit more of it in today's world, don't you think?
I mean, you know, I say, and you know, I'm very, I wouldn't say I'm spiritual, but I'm very much about like doing the right thing and thinking
Yes.
about other people. And I think that when you have, and no one's given an easy train ride, you know, when you're given, everyone's handed a set of trauma, and it's how you deal with the trauma that defines who you are. It's the space between the trauma and who you are as a person, I believe, that defines you. I mean, it's very easy to be with the fun Jill who's in sparkles and in Sherpas and, running around. And the same with you. Like,
Right.
it's very easy. But when things go wrong, who's fighting with you? Who's on your color war team? And for perfect strangers also, I mean, right now the world needs kindness. And I think that you don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the prettiest, you don't have to be the most talented, but everyone can be nice.
That's right.
There is no excuse.
That's right. So as we talk about values, was there like a quiet hero in your life that shaped you?
I mean, honestly, it's like you, like my mom is the constant, but my dad is he's very black and white. It's like he was a criminal defense attorney, and I know you're an attorney too. And so part of what I'm attracted to as a friend with you is that it's very black and white. You do the right thing.
Right.
You show up. We always show up. That's
right.
not,
Follow the law.
and yeah, I mean, bare minimum, follow the law.
Right.
But yeah, I think that, the way I was raised and the way my brother was raised, we were raised, we had a very small home growing up and we all shared a bathroom. It wasn't like, I live in this house now in the Hamptons that I bought by myself, that I created, that I'm very proud of as a female entrepreneur. And, I think the same thing about you. You were given a lot of beautiful things in your life, but it also comes with the same amount of trauma's not the word, but like obstacles. And it's just how you handle it. You're
That's
one of the
right.
nicest people I know.
Oh,
So
well, thank you.
I don't think that you can equate any, I think if you're really looking at something, I think you definitely look at somebody's backgrounds, but I don't think it's necessarily an excuse. Like there were things that happened to me, and I could use it to the rest of my life. I could say, why me with cancer? Not once did I say, why me? Like,
Right.
I know why me. Why me? Because I was given a platform that I'm able to help people and educate about genetic testing. That
Right.
if I had gotten genetic testing earlier, I would not have had to go through the hell that my family and I went through with chemotherapy and radiation. And I don't even know how many surgeries, Denise, I've had. I think it's 6. It might be 7. I don't know.
You've had a lot. Yes.
A lot. I've been through a lot.
So
and
talk
so
about
to me,
that about
yeah.
about women protecting themselves, because you're very passionate about that.
Yeah, I mean,
About
it's
the
women and
testing.
men. I mean, you're flying in to support me on October 1st
Yes, let's
this
talk
week.
about that.
We are getting together on the Today Show. I'm the Today Show fashion, clearly, correspondent. And
I'm loving those gloves. She's wearing beautiful cashmere
they're coming
gloves
soon.
with
Red
Wings
Wings fans.
But go ahead. Sorry.
But we're gathering on the plaza on October 1st, and we are going to break a Guinness World Record for the most genetic signups in 1 hour in one place. And then when we break it, which I know we will, Sheryl Crow's going to perform. She's a survivor.
Oh my gosh.
And it's for women, it's for men. I want to try to make genetic testing something that is covered. There is no reason why. I had a gene from the day I was born. I had a 50% chance of getting it from a parent. My mother had breast cancer. She got tested. She was negative. I was like, I'm good. They said, what about your dad? I said, there's no breast cancer on my dad's side. He wound up passing a gene to me that we didn't know about. My brother and I both got it. That gives me a 60 to 90% chance of getting breast cancer.
Wow.
No parent is giving their child that percentage.
That's
you just
right.
wouldn't.
Right.
So I am educating and advocating. It's women and men because I got the gene from my father. And so this week we are going to get together and start the Warrior Effect, which this is my official bag that we're going to get on the plaza.
Beautiful, hot pink.
Yeah, and we are going to break a world record, and we're going to make sure that, whatever we can do to educate and advocate. And if one family is saved, and I already know thousands who have been from just, hearing about this and the Today Show platform. If one family is saved, I will think that this was all worth it.
Absolutely worth it. Is there any way that listeners can sign up, or is there a website or anything?
Yes. So on October 1st in the 8 to 10 o'clock hour. Please tune in. We will be breaking a world record. We'll be educating. There's a discount if people want to take the test at home. You'll be able to scan a QR code. I'm launching the Warrior Shop, which will be items that were created for warriors. And it's not necessarily breast cancer. It's people who have gone through trauma and that there's a fork in the road in the morning. And you could either choose to lay there and feel sorry for yourself or get up and fight. And that's what a warrior is.
That's awesome. I just love that. And I love that word warrior. It's so true. And that's the quality you need, right? For something like that. How did you get this idea? It's such a great idea.
Thank you. And I just decided that, people were sending me like boxing gloves that said F cancer, like things that I wouldn't necessarily, I so appreciated the outreach,
right?
But that I wouldn't wear every day. And cancer is something that you're never done. People are like, are you done? And they want to hear that. And I know they want to hear that, but you're never done. And so I wanted to create a line that not only gives back, we're giving back proceeds to BCRF, but also that is a reminder. This bag doesn't say you have breast cancer. It has a bag that says warrior on it, and there'll be clothing that says warrior on it and gloves. But that is a subtle badge of honor that you can hold with you and that you can gift somebody who is just a fighter.
Well, that's beautiful. So let's talk about you being an entrepreneur.
My favorite topic.
Yes, and I'm so impressed with it because you are a self-made woman and a self-sufficient woman. And I think that it's such a great example for our listeners to kind of hear your journey and how you got there. And this business that you're building, I am just so bullish about because you're so enthusiastic and your personality kind of just represents every product. And I can't wait to see the next thing that you're coming out with because I wear everything that you make. So tell our listeners all about it.
Yeah, no, I so appreciate that. I mean, here's the thing is that when people say like they're going to entrepreneurial school, I'm like, just do it. It's sort of like a life thing. And being an entrepreneur is not for the weary. I've taken my money out of my 401k. I've taken out a second mortgage on the house. I mean, there's so many bumps in the road and iterations. But what I can say is that, and I think is really important for young people listening or people who are sitting at home and saying, I want to reinvent myself. You can start over right this second. There doesn't have to be Monday. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be next year. You don't need permission from anyone. You can start over whenever you want, and you can choose to thrive. And my only suggestion is if you have a superpower, which my superpower is I love to create items for men and women and children that are the most comfortable in the world. If you don't want to be your most comfortable self, do not come to my store. It is the most comfortable, chic items. Everyone has a different superpower. And should I have been a professional soccer player? No, I can't play soccer. So when you focus on your superpower, pick something that you are great. Everyone's great at something. Find the warrior inside of you and then go with that. So, I've tried different things. I was a sportscaster. I wasn't the best sportscaster. I didn't know enough about sports. So if you're not good at sports and you want to be a professional athlete, that is a bad choice. Like pick something you are good at.
Right.
So I've created this line. I started selling blankets and I was selling millions of blankets. And I said, I want to wear a blanket all the time. So I took 2 blanket fabrications and I bonded them together and I made them just, the chic little coat.
Right.
And then when I got cancer, I was going to QVC to sell them and I was selling over 1 million units. And I couldn't go to QVC because I couldn't I was so sick. And so I went out and I got all the licenses. So I got MBA, WNBA, those are my first. Then MLB, then all the colleges. Now I went to University of Michigan, go blue.
Go blue.
And so I'm launching a huge program there coming out in the next couple of weeks with Rally House. And in the stadium with legends. So much opportunity there because the Wolverines are so proud. We're so proud to be there.
Right.
And everyone's proud of their school. So basically, the formula is I took a hero item, hero IP, hero salesperson equals winner. So if you have a great product with no marketing, it doesn't work. So you really need to have the person behind it. And in the world we're in right now, honestly, authenticity is really a part of the formula. I am authentically in my items all the time. My best friends are in the items all the time. They're warm. You could wear them, couch side to court side. And one of my barbecue to black tie, I could do, I could go on. But I'm so passionate about it. And so I think the moral of the story out of it, though, and I do a segment on the Today Show called She Made It, promoting other female entrepreneurs,
Right.
is lean into what you're good at. And don't complicate things.
Right.
It's very easy to make anything complicated. It's, the proverbial, keep it simple.
Right.
People want ease. People want simple. Anyone can make anything complicated. It's like the beautiful girl with no makeup, proverbially. Like, that's the hardest thing to achieve,
Right.
And it's like, we all try to, do so much, like pick one thing and be really good at it.
Yes. I also think passion's really important. You have to really love and have a passion.
If you don't love it, the customer's not going to.
How do you expect them to love it? That's right. That's right. And I see so much passion in the products that you have. Like, you're wearing this beautiful Sherpa. You can get it in all different brands with respect to sports, which is amazing. And it's just so comfy.
I'll give you a little tour.
It's really
How about I give
comfy.
you a little tour of my home office? And won't that be
Well, I'm
exciting if I could do it?
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna do a little, but here you can
see, there's
like,
the Michigan brand. I'm going to kind of speak about it for our listeners, for those that can't
right,
see it.
because we're on Zoom. There
That's
you go,
right,
the TV
but still,
person
it's
on
beautiful.
Zoom.
It's like navy. Oh, show us. Let's show us. That's okay.
Yeah, faux fur, and we have a lot of sparkle and jewelry, and I'm doing this basketball bag. I don't even know if I showed you this yet, and I'll tell your viewers about it. It's shaped as a ball. There's going to be one for the Tigers too, in a baseball, and
That's
it's going to come with
Oh my gosh, is that
a Sharpie
cute?
pen with the team on it.
Oh
and
my
the
gosh, that
Tigers
is so
bag
cute.
charm. And then if you run into your favorite player, they could sign it.
I have to tell our listeners, okay, so this is a basketball purse. It's in the shape of a basketball. I love that. That's going to be great for my new WNBA investment. Being able to go to the games wearing a basketball purse. That's very cool.
And look, for the football games, we'll do them in football.
Oh my gosh. And now she's got a very soft blush pink football that has the team's brand on it, and everyone has to have one of those. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's crazy land in here. But that's what I do every day. Like, after you, I have a meeting with Sharpie, and they've sent me all their Sharpies. And so I tested all the Sharpies on the bag to see what didn't smudge. And,
Wow.
it's never ending.
Right.
But I'm so passionate about it. And so, I think you nailed it. It's the other part of the formula.
Yes.
Is if you're not obsessing over it and can't sleep, move on to a different idea.
Right. Right. I watched my dad growing up building
I
his
was just going to
business.
say that because you would tell me that he used to come home saying, tell the pizza story.
Right. Well, no, he just was so passionate about pizza. And he would come home and, ask us questions for promotional items. Do you like this toy, or do you like this kite, or do you like this? And he would poll us. We were like his mini focus group. But just watching him have so much passion for his product and how much pride he put into it, how he wanted a good quality products and wanted it to be affordable. He was so passionate about having an affordable product for families because we had 7 kids and he could really feel that. So it was really, really terrific. What?
I remember you told me he came home and he was like, because I always say, you want to ask what families want, ask a family, especially
That's
your
right.
family.
Yeah.
But you said he came home one day and said, do you like pizza? Or I forgot what the exact context was, but that's what the tagline became.
No, it became the tagline. He came up with it because it used to be buy one, get one free. And then we went to, hey, it's 2 pizzas, pizza. And we started calling it that as we gave it away or as we sold it. So yeah, it was really great. So tell us how to get some of these products. Like, do you have you've got a website, right?
Yeah, so I have my website, jillmartin.com. And on the website, and you do this all the time, we have the option to personalize it. So you could get on the cuff.
Oh,
You
yes,
could get
that's
your
right.
initials.
Yes.
You could get your graduation date. You could get your children's names. You could get love. You could get whatever you want. So it's a mass brand with a bespoke feel, which is really hard to achieve. And, I worked 25 years to have one item.
Yes.
Like that's how it works. And the whole line is based around it. So, yeah, but it's interesting I love when you talk about your dad, because I feel a connection.
Yeah, in
to,
sabbatical.
I wish I had. Yeah.
Right. Because he was an entrepreneur, and I think that entrepreneurs are a lot alike, and they have a lot of the same qualities. I think that's why I'm attracted to you to some degree because of that. And you take risks, and I think that's really important too. So we are going to need to take a break, but let's talk about risk a little bit, because it does
I love that.
Yeah, it does take risk in order to be an entrepreneur, and that's why it isn't for the faint-hearted. So let's talk about risk a little bit. We were mentioning that earlier. I'm very interested in people's, everyone has a different risk tolerance, and I kind of look at it on a scale of 1 to 10. My dad was 11. It was amazing how he took risks. My mom was more conservative, and that's what made their businesses, they had a beautiful balance between the two. How would you?
I'm trying to get you to be more of a 7.5, and I would say you're a 6. What do you think?
I think that's probably true. Yeah. It depends what it is.
You're very thoughtful about your decisions. Like I'll be like, let's go to St. Bart's for a month, and you'll be like, okay, wait. Let's talk about the logistics. And then, so I get from you balance in the way that,
yes,
the thoughtful, let's talk it through. Because I'm like,
you're more impulsive, which is really fun. Definitely. I wish sometimes I could be like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be more impulsive. I think it's like first child syndrome. When you're first born, at least it's part of it for me. Oldest of 7, it's like you have a lot of responsibility put on your back. And my dad was always saying, set an example for your siblings. And it's just a very responsible oriented position in the birth order. So,
but I'm the oldest too, but only of 1. It's different when they're 7. And it's also, you were born into a family where you had to represent the family as the oldest. Yes. I understand the way you are, respect it and love it, and think it's a great balance as a friendship.
Yeah.
Like I do want you, listen, I'm always looking for a good time. So I'm always going to push that.
Why do you think I hang out with you?
I know, but I do understand the way you are, and you're also a lawyer. And so I think that there's different qualities that you get. I jump out of planes.
I know. I would never do that. So what makes you be like that? Like what?
I think you're born like. I
think
you're born
like that. Yeah, but that's such a beautiful quality because you always have such a joie de vivre, and that's what I love being around people that are impulsive and take risks. And so, did risk feel comfortable to you when you decided to start this business, and even being a TV personality, to put yourself out there publicly and you shared your story to help other women with respect to breast cancer, and you speak so personally. Not many people can do that, and that too is a risk. It's a different kind of risk because you're risking making yourself more vulnerable, and then there's a business risk with your business, and it's a financial risk, right? So
yeah, I mean, this question brings tears to my eyes because, I would rather throw 100 balls up in the air and get 95 no's and 5 wins than throw up 1 or 2 and just pray that 1 comes through. Mm-hmm. I believe it's a numbers game. And so
that's interesting.
I get more no's than most people, but it's because I ask for more things. So probability, it's a numbers game.
It is.
So if I get, right now, I have 10 huge life-changing deals. If 1 comes through, I'm good. But if I only had 2, the chances of 1 coming through are 50%. Right now, I have a 10% for all of them.
Odds. That's right.
It's just, and I mean, I'm lucky for you and your family. I'm a gambler. I like to gamble.
Yeah.
But I'm able to, that's not one of my things. Like I'm able to cut myself off. But I feel like, people talk about the Kennedys all the time. And Maria Shriver's a dear friend. And, that a lot of tragedy has happened over the years, which it has.
Yes.
But they're also a family of risk takers.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you take more risks, more things are going to happen.
That's a really good point. I love looking at it through that lens. So would you define yourself as a 10? 8 to 10? 11? You're like my dad?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think that, and I've thought this for a long time, and that I believe this, like, I believe that your dad put us together.
Aw. Well, that's a really nice thought. Boy, I love that. So
when I walked into his room in your suite, I told you, like, I had a feeling. We're so close. We met as adults post cancer. It's just, I believe it. I believe that I'm like put in your life and you're put in my life, to help me through this like earth shattering time I'm in,
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's really, really beautifully put. Jill, as you look back, what felt like a failure, but actually was a gift, would you say?
My divorce.
Okay. Well, we don't need to talk about that if you don't want. So.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't talk about it, but it's different, with you. I felt like it was a failure at the time.
Yes.
But now I feel like it was the right thing.
Yes.
And that when you try your hardest at something and it fails,
yes,
it means that, you could be I get this wrong all the time. You could be the right thing at the wrong address. Like you could be the most beautiful house.
Say that again.
Like you could be if you're looking for a house.
Yes.
And you want to be on the water and you find the perfect house.
Yes.
But it's not on the water. It's the most beautiful house at the wrong location.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mean one's bad and one's good. It just means it's not right.
Yes.
And so often when you think God is giving you, earth-shattering heartbreak.
Yes.
So often it can change into triumph. Right. And, tragedy to triumph is what I believe life is about. It's how you get up. Again, it's like the space between failing and getting back up that you prove yourself as a person.
Yes. It's like the silver lining, and it's hard to get there. But then as you look back, you see it much more clearly. I've had people say to me, they've even said to me, write something down on why you're grateful for that quote failure or that something didn't work out. And at first I was like, what? There's nothing I'm grateful for. But as I did the work and the process, it was really cool kind of what came out, because you're right. There is a silver lining.
What would you say is your biggest?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Let me think about that a second. I think that I think it just would be, it wouldn't be a certain act or a certain failure, because we all have them. I think it was more the gift I was given was my resolve and my strength and the feeling of empowerment in getting through it and being better, because it builds character as much as, my dad would say that, and it would drive me crazy when he would say something about it builds character. But here I am repeating him. But for me, that's what it would be. So as we get ready to close, I wanted to ask you a fun question that I always ask everyone, and that is,
I'm ready.
I know that you are an amazing New Yorker. However, what is your favorite moment about Detroit? Because you are now also a Detroiter with everything that you're doing.
I mean, I have a room. I have a room at your house.
I know, right.
I'm going to do a recent favorite moment.
Okay, good.
Which is, there's like 5 of us in our little group, in our little gang. And when we left one night, Sarah Hubbard, who's one of our regents at the University of Michigan, we snuck into the big house at like midnight, and I did the angel on the M.
Oh, that's right. I remember you posted that picture, didn't you? That was
Yep.
very
I was like,
cool. I didn't know you guys
and
snuck
after,
in.
yeah, she was like, let me see if my pass, she said, let me see if my pass works. And it did.
Oh my
And
gosh,
we
that's
got
so
in.
funny. That's so funny.
But
Well,
I also love everything about, being with you and being at the games and the energy. And I'm just so grateful for this and the ability to connect with your listeners and viewers. And I can't wait to come back. And bravo on your show. I mean, you're the most spectacular person, and the airwaves are lucky to have you.
thank you, Jill. I appreciate that so much. I want you just to answer one more question. I want to end on a really positive note besides Detroit, and that is, what gives you hope right now? And what can you say to our listeners to give them hope?
I just think every day it's the ripple effect. You do one kind thing and it will come back to you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being on my maiden show. I want to thank the listeners. I love you, Jill Martin, and thanks for all you do to contribute to our world.